Resume. There we go. All right. So yeah, thanks everybody for hopping on today. A lot of you guys I expect are probably active thanks.io users, so thank you for that. Over the past we've been around, 7 years now, 5+ years, but it's about 7 years, and we've done a lot in real estate. And from time to time, we've done these webinar series where we kind of update people on what's going on specific to the industry you're in. So, we work with a lot of different industries, but real estate is probably our biggest one. So we just want to get started again, doing these sessions once a week. They are not like you shouldn't feel any stress to come on from week to week, but the idea here is that we'll just talk loosely about whatever's going on, results we're seeing from other users maybe, or new creative ideas for how to use the platform. Spend a few minutes on that, and then the rest will just kind of be can be open discussion, masterminding. If you need help with something in particular, myself and other members of the Thanks team will be here. So just get my camera straight. So I figured to kick it off, what I'm going to do today is just kind of show you where we're at with our real estate templates. Over the last few weeks, we've kind of launched a new engine with some presets that everybody can use with real estate campaigns and thanks. And then you can use what we provide out of the box, or I'll show you kind of how to work with these and edit them if you want to. So let's bring up the platform right here. And feel free to just chat in questions. I'll bring up the chat. Tracy's in from Simi. Great, perfect. And I'm doing my best to admit people as they come in. Eric, are you here on the Thanks team? If you're here, you can unmute. But let's just dive in. So right now, you can probably see in your account, if you go to your campaigns page, you can probably see some new campaigns appearing out of the box. And what we've done is we've built these campaigns, and anybody who we had tagged as being in the real estate industry should be able to see them. If you don't see them, you can just chat us and thanks and say, hey, I want the real estate campaigns. If you chat here and you don't see them, I can probably help you get it done. But just let our support team know. You can email support@thanks.io. And what we've done is we've pre-built some campaigns that we feel like are a really good starting point based on what we know from seeing tons of real estate mail get sent. And our primary goal with this stuff is to generate the QR scan and some kind of engagement from a home seller. So I'm just going to dive into one of these. We'll just go in order. And I'll start with the farm campaign in here to kind of give you guys some context. And you'll see two actions in here. One of them goes out 2 times a year. One goes out 4 times a year. And this is using our staggered send functionality, which basically allows you to say, hey, here's a mailing list. I want these people to get this creative X times a year. And go ahead, thanks.io. You just figure it out. I just want the consistency. You just send it, make sure it gets there a few times a year. And what this creates is a situation where pretty much every day of the week, something is going out to somebody on that list, and it gives you consistency. So let's look at what's going out. So the first is our farm letter template. So we'll go here. This is the one that some of you guys may have seen, where we're using AI to dynamically generate a new message to each individual homeowner in the target audience. So it uses a ChatGPT prompt. Hi, John Doe. I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to share some recent home sales in your neighborhood. It goes on the web. I don't know where. I don't want to know what these AIs are doing. It's too scary. But it goes and finds some recent sales. All we know is that it's been pretty accurate. And it lets them know some recent sales and does a little blurb, something like these sales indicate a strong market. If you're considering selling your home, reach out, scan the QR code down below. So this creative is just as much about, providing a little data and maybe putting the thought in somebody's head that they might want to sell their house. They see what their neighbors are selling for. It's just as much about that as about just consistently getting your name and phone number in front of people in your farm, right? And you see appearing here, thanks.io's handwriting. You can change that around if you want. Let me admit everybody in who's waiting. Hopefully I've got everybody. Welcome, James. So you see the handwriting appearing here. You can change that as I've just done. You can see it spinning. It's going to choose a different font. We have our realism mode for those of you that don't know. So if I turn that on and you want to get cute with this, it'll put some crossouts on the screen. You'll see those appear here in just a second. Hopefully, it's funny. I do the realism mode sometimes on a live demo and it doesn't show up. And then if I do it with like 2 words, it'll like cross out 2 out of 3 words. So you guys will see that appear here in a minute, but it randomly crosses out and makes it look like you scribbled this and made a mistake. You also see here appearing the scan me code down at the bottom for the home valuation. And if I go to that link, we actually leverage Thanks.io's address mailing list functionality to build a home valuation page. And we did this because we keep running into people who actually don't have one. I assume most people have a home valuation page of some sort, but if you want a very simple one out of the box, Thanks.io has this sort of template built into these campaigns. And it's pretty simple. They'll just enter their address, and it's not going to actually give a value or anything. It's just going to say, okay, great, I'll send you a CMA. So I'll collect name, email, phone, and uh, it says thank you. I'm going to talk to the guys. There is a way to have this pre-default to a better thank you page than this, so I'll ask them to put a better default. It just says thank you right now. But I'll let them know we need to have just a proper thank you, like, hey, somebody will get in touch. But know that you can configure all that, and you can even configure where that goes after they opt in. We basically just used our landing page functionality that's built into our mailing list to do that. I'll show you that more in a minute. But first, creative. Simple letter. This goes out twice a year to everybody on your list, on your farm list. Again, keeping you in front of them, a little bit of data, and a nice handwritten, feels personal letter. The second touch in this farm campaign is our very simple, curious what a home buyer might pay for 123 Main Street. Scan the QR code now. I think I lifted this text almost directly from Josh Shanley, but he and I have been doing some variation of this for a very long time. Where curious what it's worth, scan the QR code, not a lot of copy, and the PS just says, hey, if you want to call or text me, here's my phone number. Again, stay in front of the prospect. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try to say too much. Really just hit them over the head with what the offer is, and the main objective is to get the QR scan, right? So here's the front of that. Want to know 350 Heathcote Road's value, scan the QR code to immediately get the value. Again, you can send this wherever you want. So we're just sending it to the same QR code as is on the message side. Some of you guys are using iList or HomeBot, wherever you want to send it to, you can send it to. You're welcome to change any of the variables in here. But what we've done is just built it so you have a good starting point to get these campaigns out. And what we're finding is typically a 5% plus scan rate, depending on the list this is being sent to. It's coming in consistently. Full picture of the house in the background of the recipient. Do you guys hear the washing machine? I just realized that that's probably been going off in your ears the whole time, like it is mine, but I was tuning it out. Um, so it should be done. The street view in the background right here, picture of the house. It's merging in the address of the property dynamically. You can pre-append the customer's name and other attributes about them in here if you want to. So that goes on one side, and then the message I showed a minute ago goes on the other side. And you've got a simple campaign that does 6 touches a year, 4 plus 2. And it's repeating the same creatives. So I'm not seeing anything in the chat. I don't know what you guys think of this. Just know that, I think in the invite today, I teased like, oh, this might seem too simple. It's repetitive. You're sending the same thing over and over again. What I've learned, not only from being an operator of Thanks.io, but from just eventually breaking down and like occasionally getting a credit card from Capital One or for some other direct mailer, is that consistent messages sent over and over again, same thing over and over again, seems to win the day. Because when you try to do too many different creatives, you never get around to doing it, would be my argument. So it's best to start with a base like this. And then over time, if you want to vary it up, you start to optimize and add more in there. So quick comment from Catherine. Love it. You have not yet subscribed. Are these only available? These will load up whether or not you upgrade to our business plan or not. I'm pretty sure. You're just going to pay the higher pricing for the a la carte plan if if you actually implement these. So most people end up upgrading because you get the pricing works out. But yeah. Good question, Andrew. Can you add branding or logo in the footer so it looks like you read on stationery? Absolutely. Let me show you that. So all the pieces I just showed you are actually being it just didn't show in my preview view, but as they go out with your branding on it like this. So the postcard will have on the back side next to the QR your picture, your logo, your contact info, and then the letterhead looks like this on the bottom. The way to set that and make sure it's good to go is to simply come in to where it says branding builder here and just fill out these quick fields. You're going to upload your headshot and your logo, and our team can help you do this if you want. I'm pretty sure the system's about to start forcing people to do this just to make sure that stuff doesn't go out unbranded. And if you have your own letterhead and you want to take it a step further than this, you can always just choose to build that letterhead in the system. You could design it in Canva, and then you would just choose that letterhead stationery instead of our default when you're doing your campaigns. Yeah, thanks, Mike. We got to always be, drinking our coffee and be closing all that stuff to Glengarry. Yep. So yeah, branding definitely. And guys, like everything I'm showing you is completely customizable. It's just we like to say at this point, customize at your own risk because we're trying to lead you into things that we know will get you the engagement and the scan, on a case by case basis. So that was that campaign. I'll just quickly show you a few of the others. We have it built in just listed and just sold. We've had for a while. Thank you, Andrew Robinson, for being such a good patron of our justlisted.justsold.com product. That kind of functions as a wizard. It'll just guide you through and you can send just listed, just sold pretty quick, but you're kind of locked into the templates there. You have some good flexibility. What we did in here was made it so that native to the thanks system, you can actually add the address of a home you sold or listed into the platform and have it just send your just listed, just sold cards to a preset number of neighbors. In this case, it's set by default to 50 of the nearest neighbors. And you can even get a little crazier and you can do number of neighbors to send to a bigger group around, and you can choose demographics around the neighbors. So people who have high net worth, home equity 50% plus, only businesses. Welcome to VIP Brett Furman, by the way. Thanks for coming in, Brett. Brett's a thanks.io power user for sure. So this campaign, just listed, and it works the same for just sold, basically fires out the postcard to the 50 nearest neighbors anytime the address of the property lands in the associated mailing list. So the mailing list, in this case, is the thanks.io just listed default. So if I come up here to mailing lists, we've set it up so that you can just add somebody to this mailing list, just like this. And what you're doing is you're just putting the street address of the property in here. And the system will know that because it's the just listed campaign, it'll go get the street view of the house you sold. It'll build the creative with the street view on the property, and just fire it out to the neighbors. So yeah, so that's that. And it works the same for just sold. I believe the creative for that is this guy. Are you saying, Andrew, the human avatars on the bottom look nice? The people who are looking, or maybe that was
Yeah,
something.
that I was just wondering if they've been running for very long because it just kind of like that pattern interrupt. It makes you kind of stop and look at the card a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, that's a Justin thing. We haven't sent a ton of these. You mean these two guys right here? Um, yeah. So, and that's a good point. So this where it says just listed, just sold. These are on by default, and these are just overlays. So you see this overlay image URL. You can overlay other things on there. Again, customize at your own risk. Whenever I say that, it's because I say these things and I'm like, we see people spend 2 weeks with their designer trying to get the perfect overlay, out the door. And they never get the campaign. They never get the campaign out. Doesn't help us because we want you to send postcards, obviously. It doesn't help you because you get stalled at these like touch points where you're trying to customize it. When really the thing that's generating the action here is the quick headline. Do you want to know the value of your house and the QR scan? Like these are,
Hey
as Andrew
Ryan,
said, these are conversion boosters. What's up, Brett?
you know what would really freak people out if you got rid of the avatar and replaced it with the actual picture of the homeowners themselves? Do you want to freak people out?
The picture of the house freaks them out enough, but yeah, this is a good idea. So,
I'm just saying.
so stay
Sorry.
tuned, Brett Furman, because you're about to receive a postcard in the mail, you and your wife. So you asked for it. Here it comes. All right. Yeah, it would. And it's funny, like how far away are we from AI just doing that? I wouldn't know how to do it now, but it's getting scary. Yeah, put the home on, we put a tag in here like homeowner picture. Um, or a picture of their dog pooping on the lawn. That would be, in my opinion, just as fun. So, all right, we digress. So these campaigns are in here by default. What do we got here? So just listed, just sold. The Sphere campaign looks pretty similar to it has the AI letter in it. It has a stock birthday card in there. So if you have the birth dates of your Sphere, or if you know the date that they bought their house, you can use this to send happy house anniversary as well. So you could set logic that says every year on the anniversary of their home purchase, you can send this note card. And this one comes as the folded panel note card right here. And Andrew, yeah, it'll have your branding down at the bottom right here. So so that's the Sphere card. And then I just want to show you because Justin worked hard on this and I like it. I like what he came up with here. He's doing a referral note card that's bribing and saying, "Hey, if you know anybody who would want to buy or sell, send them my way." And he makes a little joke about caffeine. I don't know. Is this okay to do? Are we allowed to bribe referrals? If it's not compliant in your state, it's just occurring to me. There's probably other ways to do this. But basically, it's bribing a referral for a $10 coffee card. Um, Another way to do this sort of bribe would be if you're willing to hop on a 15-minute Zoom call with me to talk about the value of your house, you can unlock a Starbucks gift card. Be another way to do that.
Ryan, you could also bribe for an online review.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a good way too. So, but basically, this is highlighting, our gift card functionality. Basically, it unlocks the gift card once the action is taken on the landing page. And I believe Justin built in a pre-built landing page with these campaigns like this. And again, this is using our built-in landing page generator. So they can just give you the referral. As soon as they give you the referral, the Starbucks gift card lands on their phone. And you don't pay for the Starbucks gift card unless that action is taken. So you can mail this to 1,000 people, 5 of them redeem and send you a referral. You only pay on the ones that sent you the referral. So yeah, okay. Tracy's saying she thinks it's okay if it's not, a RESPA thing with loan officer industry person. Yeah. Do you have a way to preview the street view? No, the only way, two things there. One, if we can't find the street view in some rural areas, it'll default to the overhead map view. But the only way to really do it for a specific address is to go to Google and do the street view. We're not previewing them yet. Trying to think. I don't know if that's ever come up as a request, and maybe it's not that hard to do. Oh, well, the issue would be because it's in our previewing image builder here, we wouldn't know what specific address you want that for. But it might be cool if we had a hover on our mailing list itself next to each address that showed their street view. Andrew, maybe we could do that eventually. So I would come in here and say, it would have like a link here that let me see what street view they have on file. I might have just gotten in trouble with my partner, so because I don't know what that data costs. I know we're paying every time we hit that API. So yeah, you can kind of see it appearing here. Here, every time you get a scan, if it's one of our landing pages, you get a scan from the QR, you're going to be notified in real time that the homeowner took the action. From there, we'll probably do a separate webinar about this. I think Josh is working on some content around this too. You have some options. You can go to the house with a CMA. You can send follow-up mail and trigger that automatically. We by default create an all QR scans list. So you see it right up here. In Brett's account, for example, I think we have a couple hundred now, Brett, people who've scanned your cards, and all those people they automatically get follow-up mail from Brett every time there's a scan. They're like put on a campaign. So you want to make sure you have something like that running for all your scanners, or just manually go in once a month, once every few months and hit your scanners. Brett and I were talking, maybe it makes sense to send a FedEx. with your CMA?
I'm working on
You're working on it. Yeah.
it.
So you're talking like 11 or 12 bucks. Somebody took action. They got your postcard. They scanned it. You seal the deal with a FedEx. I don't know. It's easier than going to the house. You know they're going to get it and open it. If you have a really good pre-listing package that will kind of sit in their house till they're ready to sell because it's special, it provides a lot of value. Makes sense. Are you going to send them your whole book, Brett?
Yeah, they're going to get the book too.
Yeah.
I'm going to send them the book and the pre-listing package, and which includes a color listing brochure that's pretty intense.
Yeah. So Brett, like he's got a book he wrote, and I just wanted to highlight, like instead of trying to use your first touch with a homeowner to send a whole bunch of info, we're using these really quick short copy offers, check your value. And then uh, moving people through the funnel, that's where you pull in these other assets you have. Your book, your recorded webinar you did. Andrew, I know you send a lot of personalized mail, so that's like the signal that it makes sense now to go and spend more time and effort on that specific homeowner. Um, there's lots of ways to do it. You can either automate it through us or go send those FedExes.
Ryan,
Um,
I had a question that I just want to clarify. If someone scans anything, this is almost like retargeting. It's building a retargeting list with the QR scans.
yes. So see how we automatically put them in this all QR list. Brett, do you mind if I show your account?
Not at all. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to show you because it'll give us
As long as
back.
you send me a gift card from Starbucks, I'm good.
Okay, it will have the picture of your dog
No,
on it.
never mind.
All right. So if I go into Brett's account here, you've got the all QR scans list up here, the
Yeah,
160.
yeah,
And you're coming up on a year, but you've been sending consistently just listed, just solds with us, as well as some other stuff. And you can see you're getting to the point where at least every day or two, you must have just had one hit. Oh, you had a good one hit this week.
yeah. It was busy. Oh my God, was it busy?
Good, good, yeah. So good timing for this webinar too.
Yeah,
So they're hitting, they're landing on this all QR list, and then in Brett's case, he's got this campaign here. It's getting buried by some other things we're doing, but you can see all your QR scans are getting a day 1, 30, 90, and 150. I paused your review one because it wasn't getting a lot of scans. I just wanted to look at it because I saw you were spending a lot of money on that. I just wanted to, you and I could talk about that. But
yeah,
you can see it starts with the just listed, just sold card. The scan comes in. Brett's team gets a text message, an email. You're running a go high level based system to do a
yeah.
bunch of other automation from there. You're not, and then the mail keeps dripping out and out. So as
I
time
see.
goes on, the idea here is you're just going to get calls from people who just are already pre-sold on you being their agent, which is the goal, right? Um, so yeah, that's kind of the context. You can schedule these automations off the main scan. Could you upload your own? Catherine's asking. Absolutely. Yep. So everything I'm showing is sort of the defaults to kind of make things quick and easy. But if you want to have somebody design one or you design your own, or if you just want to go into Canva from within our system, you can do that as well. Yeah, I don't think Brett's
Can I,
shy about sharing his results. They're not like mind-blowing so far, right, Brett? I think he's talking to somebody in his office, but um, I know he's getting the occasional call and his scan rates are healthy. Um, but I'll let him speak to that once he has a minute.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's
I
a
was showing Gabe the card you just made for another. Here, I was showing Gabe this card you just made. I don't know if you
yes.
can see it or not.
Yep.
It's for like a medical building that's just went out, and I was
Yeah,
impressed.
it's an interesting, I'll show it on the screen.
Yeah,
An interesting application would be commercial. I don't know if we have any commercial people on, but you had a unit that you're trying to, you have multiple
yeah,
spaces you're trying to rent in
yeah.
one building.
And one for Gabe. You're working on another card.
Yep. Yep. Uh, what got buried by all these one-off sends. Just give me a second.
Those are the old style cards. That's not the full Google Street View.
No, no. Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
Um,
there it is.
oh my
That's it right there.
goodness. You
Look at
got
this.
71 for 261.
Do you see this?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Guys, are they recent? You did get repeat scans. You had 14 repeat.
14 people scanned that already. Yeah.
Something is off. I'll have to double. It's
All right.
counting 71. I think somebody
Okay.
scanned a bunch, but it at least has those. It's doing well. And this
Spend.
was a home value card you did. Your Exton ha campaign hasn't yet hit yet. So sorry to,
Right. I don't think uh did it hit? Did it get delivered? Let's see.
you're on our standard mail. You're saving that 4 cents a card, so it is taking a little longer. That's kind of by design. Um, but yeah, so commercial application, basically a commercial for, and this was built in Canva. Um, we just grabbed a stock image out of Canva and, kept it simple. But you can also do this kind of stuff. So Brett, what have your results look like in general?
Uh for all these programs, they're off the charts. Because like I did direct mail for call it, I don't know. I've been doing this 37 years, so I was a high direct mail spender and I dropped 10,000 cards and if I got a half of 1%, I was happy, So I'm seeing response rates of, I don't know, 3 to 45% or something.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just another touch point and what I'm finding though is my real secret sauce is it's the calling now. So if someone scans, it's a call. So I'm using the dialer now and I'm really getting home runs now because I'm leaving dropped voicemails when they don't answer and now they're calling me back. I'm like, "Ooh, this works really well." But they got the card, they got the CMA, they got, all these touch points.
Yeah,
They
and
know who I am.
you're not a stranger when they hit.
Yeah.
When they call you.
So the direct mail's fantastic. The response rate is awesome. It's off the charts. If you really want to, boost it, it's the calling. You got to now call these people. That's you just got to pick up a phone and make calls.
Yeah. Yeah, so and then the all QR scan list is probably a good way to make sure you don't miss anybody. It works as a very light CRM kind of thing. You can just see who they were. Um, you're also getting texted now. That's kind of new. So I don't know if you have that on in your account, Brett, but you're probably getting a text message or it might be going to your main office line because you have that attached to your account. But if you
Uh,
want to receive a text of the person who scanned, so that you can text them from your phone, that's also happening.
really? Is that through Thanks.io?
Yeah, it's just a text notification. I'm gonna look at your, yeah, it's on for you, but it's going to this number. That's not your
Yeah.
personal number, right? But just so it's useful. You get a scan in real time. You go and try to get a hold of the homeowner as soon as possible.
Ryan, we're also on top of that, besides the automations we're using are not only it's a dropped voicemail, but when they get the dropped voicemail, they're getting like a text message and an email, I think, on top of that. So it's like quadrupling anything we touch with these consumers are getting hit like just multiple times.
Yep. And I'll mention the way that's happening is from Thanks.io, there's a Zapier trigger that's pushing their contact info back into your Go High Level based system, and then that's triggering the automation from there. Um, so the CRM you use isn't important. Brett's using one that can do all this stuff as long as it can talk to other platforms and run automations. Um,
Ryan, I had a question about Brett's results on letters that are in an envelope versus these ones that have very engaging pictures on the front.
you go ahead, Brett. I don't know if you've sent too many.
He's muted.
Yeah, I was just trying to convince. I think I was trying to convince
Sorry,
you
I'm
that
sorry, I missed the question. Sorry.
The question was, are you running the letters that go inside an envelope and what type of response rate do those get relative to the ones that have the very engaging images on the front of the card?
I mean, I think Ryan, most of my stuff, you got me doing some letters, right, Ryan? Don't we have some sealed letters?
you're mostly
Postcards.
postcards, and then we have
Yeah.
some note cards that go out. But it's not a big. Yeah, it brings up a good point. We should should do more letters for you,
And in
maybe.
all honesty, I do have another piece of technology here that does my handwriting in. So when I do letters sometimes, Ryan, sometimes I send out through
Yeah,
my overpriced printing machine that does that.
yeah, because you got to use it for something, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, on the letters, Andrew, globally, when we pull the QR scan rates across the board, it's been a little while since we did. We'll see like four something across the board on the QR scans, and then the letters are typically like between 1% and 2%, because it's the extra effort to open it. Um, and the problem with letters for us is everybody's sending different, like vastly different offers. Um,
Wait, you're saying you get an additional 1 to 2 for letter? Is that what you're
No, I'm
saying?
saying that
Uh,
response rates tend to be lower because they have to open the
oh,
envelope to see the
more
QR. When they get a
harder.
postcard, the QR is like right in front of them. Um,
Got it.
um, but I do want to share for this group. Can I show you guys something? I don't want to share the account I was doing this in because I don't know if they want me to share it, but it's something I came up with, so I'm allowed to share it. I'm gonna do it over here. I wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that the AI can do when writing the letters. Uh, I want to show it over here. I don't think they'll get mad. We're about to, if anybody's a member of Daryl Davis, darylspeaks.com, we're about to have a little partnership with them as well. And we were talking the other day. Um, and I came up with this AI prompt that I want to share with you guys. All right, so in the system, you can write Chat GPT like this and then give the prompt, and it'll basically use, Chat GPT to do this. Uh, but the interesting thing here, um, it's saying write a 250 word letter that acts like a monthly newsletter for the current for the month of the current day. Start the letter with citation, give a random fact about the current month and a random real estate tip, sign it with my name, and so on, and write it at ninth grade level. But basically, it says, I hope this newsletter finds you well and thriving as we step into June. Did you know that June is named after Juno, the Roman goddess of marriage? Uh, it's a month filled with. I wanted to share a handy tip with you when preparing your home for sale. So it shares a home tip. And this is all completely dynamic, like based on this prompt, and can be sent every month. And it'll mention June, July, August, September. Are you talking, Brett?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gabe's bothering me. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I thought you were trying to say something.
No.
So you can use this ChatGPT prompt in here, and there's probably things I haven't thought of, but you saw before I was doing the home transactions, we're referencing the current month. I told it to give a random real estate tip. It could have easily been give a random tip for a first-time real estate investor. So you could send this to a list of, or you could send it to a list of first-time buyers, every month with, some new prompt. So I just wanted to share that because I thought it was fun. Uh, uh, so Yeah, so to recap, because we could do this all day. When you come into the system, we have these pre-built campaigns. Our team is pretty full service. You just click on the automation concierge if you want help. And if there are things about the campaign you need help implementing, we can do that. You'll just click and you'll see the link to the concierge session here. But basically, the name of the game becomes putting people onto these campaigns. And the way you put somebody on a campaign is you add them to the mailing list. So if I want to kick off the farm campaign, I come into the mailing list and I either upload the people I want on my farm, or I can simply do add to list, radius search, and say, all right, give me everybody near my house, or in my farm area, give me 100 people who have, home equity 50% plus. And if you guys are using third-party lead aggregators like a PropStream or something like that, a Remind, you can also just directly upload those lists that you're generating here. But I would just click. I would buy the mailing list. It's 5 cents a record. Wonder if it'll let me do that. No, it won't, because this is a demo account. I don't have the card on file. But it'll add all the people to the list, and then the campaign logic will just take over, and everybody on that list will get my 6 touches a year. So I can't think of we tried to make it so if you just want to farm an area with mail, it's that simple. Like we can have you done in 10, 15 minutes. Once you do the branding builder, get your branding on everything. If you're fine with our default templates, you just decide what you want your mailing list to be and you're good to go. Um, so yeah, Brett's using Go High Level. I think he's using ProQuest maybe. Am I saying that wrong?
Pro?
What's the name of that CRM?
Pro
Pro
Edge.
Pro Edge,
Yeah.
Pro Edge.
Yeah, but it's go high level. It's just a well, I don't know what you call them, but it's go high level.
Yeah, and I have to mention a lot of what he's doing there would work with a Bold Trail or KV Core
Yeah.
or similar.
I
There,
had Fob before, Follow Up Boss, but
yeah, FUB. Yep. So yeah, that's kind of we have a lot more going on here, but that's kind of where we're at today. With real estate mailing with banks. And the plan is to just kind of hop on here. It'll probably be less of a demo moving forward, and I'll probably from week to week just focus on a specific idea. We'll do absentee maybe. Somebody mentioned something about probate. Maybe I missed that comment. Maybe we'll do a week where we do a probate, yeah, probate absentee letter. Mike, to answer your question, we do have built into the system a way to send to the mailing address of the owner, but reference the street view to the subject property, if that's what you're asking. And I'll be honest, I always confuse myself on which is which in the system. I always have to go and look at our docs, but if I add somebody to a list, I'm in here. Oh, it's not appearing here. When you do your upload, you'll see that you can map directly to the absentee form. This is a list I was working on with you, Brett. So I just want to show this is by way of demo.
yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so
That's it.
if I go, these are the thanks merge fields on the right. You'll see we have absentee address, city, state, zip as options. So in your upload file, you're getting that data for the absentee owner from a Remine or PropStream or something. You would upload it there, and then the system would automatically on our cards, the ones with the street view, it would put a picture of the house instead of the owner's house. Any templates for FSBO or expired? We had a bunch. We just need to add them. The the simplest thing for FSBO in my mind, I can almost write this off the top of my head, is a few of them. Hi, I had a quick question about your house. Give me a call. It's the old Mike Stott used to do a lot of this. Hey, if I brought you a buyer, would you be willing to pay a commission? Give me a call if yes. But Rochelle, we can help you put that together, and it's probably something we'll fast follow with in this library. And once it becomes available, we'll let you guys all know and get them added to your accounts. Um, there's also a coach that I'm about to meet with right now who's designing a FSBO expired campaign. Um, that will be under her thing, but yeah, it's very easy to do. Um, and I don't know what everybody else thinks. I don't know that a postcard works as good. I would probably lean toward letters for that. Or even the gift card bribe, like, hey, are you still thinking about selling your house? If you're willing to talk to me for 15 minutes about our marketing plan, I'll show you what we'll do. I'll hook you up with a $25 Starbucks gift card as a thanks for your time. So, Rochelle, we'll try to get some of those in the system for you to use here shortly. But yeah, any other questions, guys?
Yeah, Ryan, do you mind if I come off mute and ask a
Yeah,
question?
of course.
So like Mike, I focus on trust and probate sales. And I am working on developing right now a landing page where they can go to where I have a little video that talks about, us specializing in trust and probate. Have you had any other agents that focused on that, and how did they go about working on that niche with Thanks.io?
Yeah, so I've seen a number of those go out. I don't have an account to log in off the top of my head. But generally it's a letter. They usually reference probate in particular, they usually reference like we know it's a hard time for your family and we can help you get this done quickly, is the way the scripting
Mm.
usually works. Um, but these days I would probably come in here and just say letter to a homeowner uh who got their home via probate. offering my assistance. Start with hi first name. It tries to do this weird salutation. So I'd say start with hi first name. As a PS, tell them to scan for current home value. Oh, wondering why it's doing that. I'm in the postcard view. I have to be in the letter view for it to stop giving me that message. But yeah, I mean, to answer the question, I've seen letters go out. I'm always kind of hesitant to just uh, my first instinct is like, yeah, let me grab that and make it a template, but it's somebody else's creatives. Um, so I don't have any specific that I've created that I can share, but here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually take a little bit of a different approach rather than I don't know. And I know people do this and I'm sure it's good, but I rather than here where I am in Ventura County, we have very, very few probates because most everybody has a trust. So I'm more thinking sending out postcard campaigns on a regular basis, just saying, hey, we're your trust and probate specialists.
Okay,
Maybe anybody who's got that on their mind is more likely to remember us in a sea of just typical real estate cards.
gotcha. Um, yeah, and each one could include a separate tip.
Yeah, good
You have
idea.
trust and probate tip number one, number two, number three, and
Yeah.
then PS we specialize in trust and probate in Ventura County. Um, but yeah, we could definitely help you build that out. If you want to book using the concierge. Um, but yeah, it's definitely doable. Um, find my so I was Googling, somebody had asked me for some direct mail quotes. So I'll leave with this today. And who was that, by the way? I didn't see you on the Zoom, just so I know when you book. I didn't catch who that was talking.
Oh, that's I'm sorry, Tracy Cheney.
Okay, thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
so just some just some why direct mail works. 90% of direct mail is opened. That's a USPS study, compared to only 20 or 30% of emails. Consumers are 70% more likely to remember the brand they see in direct mail versus digital ads. This makes sense to me because you're touching and feeling something. You're seeing the brand in a kinesthetic modality. Builds more trust, especially among homeowners and older demographics. I thought that was interesting. The average response rate is 4.9 for prospect lists, 9% for house lists. This is from the Direct Mail Association. I don't know for sure that those sound high to me. They sound biased, but yeah, that response rate's gonna be good. You can target and segment better. I didn't even mention, guys, we have our built-in mailing list builder, but we can also build you very targeted lists in a lot of cases around other demographic categories if you just let us know what you're trying to do. And of course, there's less competition because your physical mailbox isn't getting as much stuff. So um, yeah, that's about it for today. Hopefully this was useful, guys. Feel free to give any feedback. If there's anything you want us to drill into on these sessions, you can email support Ryan at thanks.io or support at thanks.io and just say, hey guys, we'd love a video about this or a webinar session about this topic, and we can get that out for you. But yeah, that's about it. Ashley, thanks for hopping on here. I guess you saw the invite, and then you and I can talk here in a minute. Thanks, Catherine. Thank you, Brett, for being so willing to share, and Andrew for all the engagement as well.
Anytime.
Okay, cool. Ashley, I'm going to drop you in Facebook a link to our private meeting,
Okay, sounds good. Thank
and I'll
you.
get you a replay of this one.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks, guys. I'll drop the replay of this out tomorrow via mail, and you guys will get notified from week to week in your inbox as we're doing these sessions. Thanks, guys.